All right, we're diving into a huge one today. It's maybe the biggest question we ever ask ourselves. What is the point of it all? We're going to explore this through the lens of one person's incredible journey to find an answer, and their perspective is, well, it's surprising, and it's definitely challenging.
So, the source material we're looking at just jumps right in with this question. And this isn't just some philosophical thought experiment. It's about that feeling. You know the one I'm talking about. That nagging feeling you get in the middle of a busy week where you just stop and think, what is all this for? For most of us, society kind of hands us a script, right? You get your education, you make some money, start a family, try to have as much fun as you can along the way, and then that's it. It's the standard roadmap. But here's the thing. For the author of our source material, checking off every single one of these boxes still left them feeling completely and totally lost.
And this quote right here, this is the heart of the whole problem. The author says, "I did all of the above, and I have not found satisfaction, a meaning in life." Just think about that. You achieve everything you were ever told would make you happy, and you're still left feeling hollow. That feeling is the spark that starts this entire journey.
Okay, so if that well-worn path is a dead end for finding true meaning, then what's the alternative? The answer our source lands on is this single, really counterintuitive idea: sacrificial service. Now I know, that sounds pretty intense, so let's break down what it actually looks like.
So the central argument is this. Real purpose isn't found in what you can get from the world, but in what you can give. It's a complete flip of our modern focus on self-care and self-fulfillment. The source is pretty upfront that a life of service won't always feel fun, but it argues that it's the only way to find that deep, lasting joy and peace we're all actually looking for.
The author frames this as a constant battle going on inside all of us. There's a part of us, the text calls it the flesh, that just wants immediate gratification, the easy fun stuff. But then there's this other part, the spirit, that's searching for something real, something that lasts. And that internal tug-of-war, well, that's presented as the main challenge in this whole search for purpose.
So if a life of service is the goal, why is it so hard? What's holding us back? The source points to one giant obstacle: a culture that is absolutely obsessed with me.
And you see the spirit of me everywhere, don't you? We're told to be self-focused, self-sufficient, self-indulgent. It's basically the worship of me. The author puts it perfectly. Trying to live a selfless life in this kind of world is like jumping in water without getting wet. You're constantly swimming against a powerful current.
To really drive this home, the source uses a powerful metaphor for this self-centered culture. It calls it the bondage of Babylon. Now, that's not a physical place, it's a state of mind, a system where our self-worship actually traps us and prevents us from finding the meaning that comes from community and sacrifice. Okay, so I know this might all be feeling a little abstract. How does a sacrificial lifestyle actually work in the real world, day to day? Well, the source argues that it all starts in the most fundamental place there is, the family.
Let's look at how this perspective gets applied to the family structure. Every single role is defined by a specific kind of sacrifice. The husband's role is to love his wife completely and carry his responsibilities. The children's role is to obey and honor their parents, and eventually to care for them. And for the wife, the role is described as being a stable, precious helper in willful submission, which the author frames as a conscious, powerful choice to support the family structure, not as some kind of command.
But, and this is a really key point, this sense of duty can't just stop at the front door. A family that only serves itself can, in its own way, become just another selfish unit. For the principle of sacrifice to be truly meaningful, it has to extend outward, into the community. And to do that effectively, you need some organization.
So what's the vehicle for this community-wide service? For the author, the answer means we have to completely rethink the entire purpose of the church. I mean, look at this contrast. So many of us see church as a place you go to, a thing you do for an hour on Sunday, maybe for your own spiritual benefit. But the author argues it should be seen as an active, organized body, what they call a government of God, and its entire purpose is to be out there practicing pure religion by serving the community.
This completely redefines the church. It's not a building, it's an organization. And its main job, drawing from a biblical definition of pure religion, is twofold. One, actively take care of the needy, and two, stay uncorrupted by the self-serving values of the world around it.
And this isn't just a theory. The author lays out a really practical structure for how this works. It starts with small groups that meet regularly, focusing on building real, deep relationships. From there, the group can figure out who needs help
and then actually provide for them. The whole thing is supported by believers who freely give to help the ministers who are doing the work. It's a whole system designed for active service.
So when you put it all together, the role of this redefined church is to be an engine for selflessness. It's meant to support families, to actively push back against that culture of me, and to serve as a beacon, what the author calls the light and salt, for a world that's desperately looking for direction.
And so we'll leave you with this final thought. If we take this idea seriously, that a truly meaningful life is found in giving, not getting, what would actually need to change? In our own lives? In our communities? It's a huge, challenging question, but it gets right to the very heart of the search for purpose. Thanks for exploring it with us.